Okay. So with that, I first wanted to start by highlighting that last year we introduced a code of conduct for swims that's available through our website. And I've been doing some of my own sort of self-training on writing codes of conduct and whatnot. And one of the things I've learned throughout this process is that it's iterative and it's reflective. So I encourage you to take a look at the document, and it's probably a time for us now that it's been a year since we've done it for us to start to think about if there's ways that we should improve it. But I wanted to also remind you all that we have a reporting form that is a way for us to get a sense if there's anyone that's felt harassed or victimized, that you can let us know anonymously. And that's always available on our website. And we encourage those that are, hosting swims events to remind people about our code of conduct in our reporting form, so that we can help to create a safe and inclusive space for everybody. So in terms of our steering committee, I just wanted to introduce everyone. And if you're here from the steering committee, please feel free to take your video off and send a wave for a minute. So like I said, I'm Trisha Thibodeau. I'm the president. I'm currently a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Rhode Island Graduate School of Oceanography. I study all things plankton, but I got my start at SWIMS because I helped to co-found the chapter at VIMS. It's a great rhyming name. And I was just really excited when I became a postdoc about getting more involved in the larger SWIMS organization. And so I was the vice president and then became the president last year. So I'm really excited and I love swims, and I'm really happy about what we've been able to accomplish this year and share with you all. So next we have Trish, our vice president. Neve Myler, our treasurer. Chloe, our communications lead, who will be stepping down soon. So thank you, Chloe, for everything you've done for us in the last few years. Chloe really helped to organize and standardize our communications process, which has been huge. And then Ray Kodara, that we added last year to our steering committee as a clerk to help with our reporting and our meeting minutes, and she's awesome. And then our chapter liaisons, Kaylee Krieg, who we invited last year, as well as Alex Sinclair. And they both bring some really unique perspectives, given their lived experiences, to the steering committee and to SWIMS. So I'm really happy to have them on board. And then finally, our mentorship chair, Lauren Moore. And so we meet about monthly to decide what we want to do with SWIMS moving forward, but we're always open to ideas and suggestions. So you can always reach out if you have an idea. And I just wanted to thank everybody for what they've done this past year as part of our steering committee. So in terms of our election, this is one of the main reasons we hold our all members meeting to announce the winners. So we had 3 people running for our communications lead, Catherine Hudson Gallagher, Tianyan Oyang, and Prim Kumar, and we really appreciate all of their efforts and their willingness to put themselves out there in running for this position. So thank you all. And then for our director, as a position on our board of directors, in which we currently have 5 board members, and we're continuing to add board members each year, and there's no set term limits for the board. So the more the merrier at this point for getting diverse perspectives. And so Ira Cardoso was one of our candidates, as well as Syed Chabi Hassan. And we really, again, appreciate their efforts in taking the time to run and nominate themselves. So in terms of the winners, based on ranked choice, we had Catherine Hudson Gallagher with 52% of the vote. And then our director will be Ira Cardoso, and Ira wasn't able to join us today, but I did want to give Catherine a moment just to say a few words and to introduce herself. So thanks, Catherine.
Thanks, Trisha, and thanks everybody. I guess my name's Catherine Gallagher. I recently got married, so hence the hyphenated maiden name in the middle. but I am currently a postdoctoral fellow at Stony Brook University, currently on the job market, so that might change. But I was kind of in a similar situation to Trisha and moving into this postdoc role. I really wanted to get involved in swims at a broader scale. I helped put together and not found, but I was one of the first co-chairs of the chapter at University of Delaware, and I'm active in the chapter here at Stony Brook. So I'm excited to step into this role and help you guys get the word out. And if anyone has any ideas or initiatives they want to get started, feel free to reach out at any time. I'm open to any and all suggestions. Thanks, Trisha.
Awesome. Thanks, Catherine. And Catherine and I actually helped to develop the Delmarva Symposium we did in 2019 between the UDEL, BIMS, and Horn Point Labs swims chapters. So again, it's really awesome just to see us continuing to grow in our careers and within our involvement at swim. So she'll be working with Chloe to onboard for the swim's communications lead position in the coming month. And we're really looking forward to having her on board. So thanks, Catherine. Okay, so we wanted to take some time to give you all some updates as a nonprofit organization about our finances. So I'm going to have our treasurer, Neve, take it away.
Hi there, I'm Neve. So I've been the treasurer here at SWIMS for 2 years now. And something that we've been working on recently is we are giving out regular grants. So we will have in the next slide a link to a grant form that you can fill out. Normally what we do is we send out the link and like a chapter lead can apply and tell us their ideas for events, things like that, anything that they think would be beneficial for their chapter. So we do that twice a year, and we're just about to start the next one. You can also apply for one-off funding if you have any cool ideas. Let's see, we're also, recently we've been trying to provide honoraria when we're able to speakers that have spoken at some of our events as well, so that's pretty cool. And hopefully in the future, we'll be working on giving international funding as well. But right now, unfortunately, we're not able to give international funding, but we are trying to give out chapter funding to our chapters across the US. So I'm really happy that we are a registered nonprofit, thanks to my predecessors for setting that up. So that's pretty cool. I think that's all we have to say, Trisha. Yeah.
Thanks, Neve. And yeah, I just want to give Neve a huge round of applause because she's been huge in helping us with some of the kind of unknown challenges that come up with being in a nonprofit organization. Like, yeah. So anyway, it's I just really appreciate all your work behind the scenes. Neve really does a lot to keep us running as a nonprofit organization. So thank you.
Thank you.
And some of the things that Neve was highlighting, I go to the next slide, are the links, which we're going to share this slideshow with everyone and post it on our website at the end of the presentation. But we have funding available for chapters, if they ever have a certain activity they want to host or provide honoraria for a speaker that they wanted to have at their institution, for example. And so all you need to do is complete the funding application, and then, but we also have one-off event funding in case you miss the deadline for the chapter funding. So that's definitely an option too. Neve, is there anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, that's pretty good. We really encourage chapters to fill out those forms if they have any ideas or needs, any events that they hope to be able to host at their chapter. We've gotten a couple of responses in the past when we've tried to fulfill those. But yeah, pretty much if you have any good ideas, go ahead and fill that out. It doesn't hurt to fill it out.
Awesome. Thanks, Neve. And I did just want to let everyone know we'll have time at the end before we get into our breakout rooms for Q&A in case anyone has additional questions about the chapter funding or anything like that. So we did want to remind people that we encourage you all to become paying members of our organization. And you can do that by going to our membership page on our website. And because we are a nonprofit organization, we do have to ask for dues, but we have ways in case you don't feel financially capable to do that, that we can cover your dues for you. You just can reach out to the steering committee and you can offer to donate also. Like if you feel like you could pay more than one membership, you can do that too. So this helps us to keep count of demographics, and that we also will include to share with our board of directors and to give us a better sense of our evolving membership here within SWIMS. And like we said, yeah, payment should not be a barrier. So we have ways to work around that. But we do have, it does really help us in terms of just growing our organization to have paying members. So if you are in one of the SWIMS chapters, but not a member of the National SWIMS organization, I highly encourage you to go to this link and become a member. And in terms of a little more about our members, we increased our membership by almost 100 people this year, which I was really excited about. We have languages from all over the world, which I love. And most of us are located in the United States, but we do have a few that are outside the United States. And we do have 4 active chapters internationally. And so that was one of the things Neve was getting at, that right now, as a nonprofit organization registered in the United States, we cannot liably send money to international organizations. So that's something that we're really focused on trying to figure out this year to be able to diversify our membership. And we have many different identities represented, both visible and non-visible, including LGBTQ+, disabled, immigrant, neurodivergent, veterans, first gen, multiracial, religious, and many more. So I'm really happy and excited about the membership that we have and seeing how it continues to evolve over time. In terms of the career stages that we have, SWIMS does traditionally identify as an early career organization. We were started and founded at Woods Hole by a number of early career women scientists. And so this gives you a sense of kind of where we're coming from. Something that I'm excited about is Alex Sinclair is one of our new chapter co-liaisons, and she is an ocean engineer. And I'm really excited about that perspective that she can bring to the careers we have available to us within the marine sciences. And we have been making an effort this past year to focus more broadly on non-traditional ocean science careers, and also just the ways that we can maintain a healthy work-life balance within the various careers we might have within the marine sciences. And Chloe's going to highlight this as well, but we also have a job board that we use as a way to help show the different kinds of careers that are available to folks in marine science. And it's not necessarily a job board where you post current jobs that are available, but it's more to give you a sense of what kinds of jobs are out there that maybe you didn't realize were a possibility with someone that's focused in marine science. Chloe, you want to go ahead with the comms update?
Yeah, thanks, Trisha. And I'll paste these links in the chat as well in a second so that people can access them. So a really brief summary of our followers. I think they've all grown, possibly with the exception of MailChimp, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because if it goes above 2,000, then we have to pay for it. So thanks everyone for keeping that number at the perfect level. Yeah, but we post somewhat regularly across all of our social media channels. So if you don't follow us, you can find us at Women in Marine, Society for Women in Marine Science, across all platforms, I believe. We also have a discussion group on Facebook. So that is a private group. If you want to join that, please answer the membership questions. a lot of people don't, and we can't accept people if they don't give us an indication of why they're interested in joining. It just helps us make sure that the members who join that group are going to be responsibly and respectfully engaging with everyone. But it is a really great place to ask questions and connect with like-minded people. We also have our Slack, which is a great place for seeing job opportunities. So we do post quite a few opportunities, and others post opportunities as well. So I encourage all of you to join the Slack if you have opportunities to post or would like to see job opportunities, PhDs, postdocs, all sorts of things. And then the MailChimp is where we send our newsletters out. So you should be subscribed to that if you're a member, but if you're not, please send our swims.general.contact@gmail.com email address an email, and we can make sure that you're added to that mailing list. Typically those have been going out every 6 weeks and usually include event registration links and any other upcoming news pieces or opportunities. So a quick summary of our comms activities in the recent past. So the jobs directory is a really great resource. We've had really good feedback on it, but we haven't had many people add their jobs to it. So the jobs directory is different to other jobs boards in that, as Trisha said, it's not advertising current roles, it's advertising roles that real marine scientists or people engaged in the marine sector have held, a bit of a description of what that job entails, the job title, if appropriate. We've got the salaries and the employers listed, and some of them, the submitters have put their email address down willingly as well to share. So take a look at it if you don't know what direction you want to go in marine science, because there are some really interesting jobs out there. Marine scientist or oceanographer tend not to be job titles, so it can be really hard to find your niche within the marine sector. So I really recommend taking a look at it. But if you do work in the marine sector, please add your job to it. A lot of the fields are not required, so you can keep it really simple, just your job title and a short description. But we'd love to add yours to the directory. You can add multiple jobs. So if you've held 5 different jobs all in the marine sector over the last however many years, feel free to add them all. We just want to grow it to give people a really good idea of the kinds of jobs that are out there. So yeah, please add to it. And then one of the exciting things we did, I think it was back in October maybe, we did a bit of a science art showcase on social media. So we shared a few projects that use art to communicate science, and that resulted in one of our workshops that we held quite recently with Karen Romano Young, which was all about visual storytelling. So check those out on our social media, and hopefully we'll do more similar things in the future, because that seemed to go down really well. And then finally, I just wanted to highlight this link to a Flip page group. Not sure what terminology Flip uses, but we want to compile as many voices of swims as we can. So the way Flip works is really easy. You go in, there are a few different topics we've got in there. I think one's about your research, about your successes, things you're most proud of, epic failures. Choose a topic, record a quick video. I think we've put a limit at 2 minutes for most of them, so you can't run over. And then it saves and it kind of compiles a mixtape or playlist of all these videos. So you should be able to see the ones in there already. Some of our committee members have provided some great comments, and ultimately we'd like to make some of these publicly available so that everyone out there can see what Swims is all about and see what our members are up to. So if video is your thing, take a look at the Flip and record your own. I think that's everything, other than to say thank you to the committee for having me for the last 2 years. I've really enjoyed working with everyone, and I'm sure that Catherine will do a great job.
Awesome. Thank you, Chloe. And thank you for everything that you've done over the last few years. And we're really going to miss you.
Thank you.
So we have a brief chapter update. I didn't know if Kaylee or Alex, our chapter co-liaisons, wanted to hop on to discuss this slide.
Yeah, I can chime in here.
Thanks,
So
Kaylee.
currently we have 24 chapters across the world, in 11 states in the United States, and then in Brazil, Africa, and Ireland. And I think in the chat we can put the contact list from the drive. And we would like any chapter leadership to update their contact information on our list in the Google Drive. So we always have a point of contact. That's one thing that we're really trying to update right now for all the chapters. So if you're on the call and you are in a chapter, if you can jump on there and make sure that we have the correct email. And then one thing we are asking all chapters is to make a dedicated email address. So like yourchapter.swims@gmail.com would be perfect. And that way, when we do have a leadership change, we always still have a way to get in contact with you. Soon we're going to be sending out chapter agreements to all of the chapters, and that will really just kind of outline our expectations from the chapters and give you some guidance. We also have a resource folder that has documents about things you might want to know about funding, the steps to starting or restarting your chapter. Some of the chapters kind of went into a lull during COVID and are starting to amp up activity. So you can always go in there and look at those resources. And then of course, reach out to me or Alex in the steering committee if you are looking, if you want to chat about how you can do that, or looking for ideas. And I really encourage that everybody follows each other's social media pages. Some of our chapters are really active on social media, and you can get good ideas about what your own chapter might want to do. I think that's all I have. If Alex has anything, she can jump on, or back to you, Tricia.
Yeah, I would just add that if any of the chapters, if you have questions about being a chapter membership, or navigating anything here, then please feel free to reach out to Kaylee and to me.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. And yeah, I really appreciate everything that Kaylee and Alex have been doing to reach out to our chapters and get things a bit more organized, especially since the pandemic. Obviously, it was really tough to, form and meet as chapters. And so just trying to ramp back up during that time. And I really just applaud anyone that's been in a chapter at SWIMS and has been working to keep things going, because I know it can be difficult, especially when we all have so much going on. So thanks for keeping the swim spirit alive. So the last update, main update with the steering committee I wanted to give was just with our mentorship program, and to remind you all that we have a SWIMS mentorship program. We have a rolling link for being a mentee and for being a mentor, so you can sign up at any time. And then usually what happens is our mentorship chair will kind of aggregate a number of incoming interest and match them. We always have fewer mentors than we do mentees, and we've actually been getting more mentees from high school and undergraduate lately. So even if you're a graduate student or a senior undergraduate and you feel like you'd be interested in being a mentor, I highly encourage you to sign up, because you can be a mentor. We need diverse mentorship, right? That's been shown. And so the more different kinds of mentors we can get at different career stages, I think the more valuable experience we can have as a mentee. So I really encourage you to sign up. And if you have any feedback or interest in being more involved, feel free to email the swimsmentorship@gmail.com link. The last thing I wanted to highlight before we get into our breakout rooms is that SWIMS is actually in the process of preparing a manuscript, and this is being led by a number of previous leaders within different SWIMS chapters in the larger SWIMS organization. And the focus is on the effectiveness and importance of affinity groups, affinity focused events in marine science, based on experience from the number of swim symposia that we used to have over the years. And this is done through a series of surveys that were approved by the University of Rhode Island's Institutional Review Board. And throughout the 4 different symposia that we had since 2018, we've had only over 570 responses. And so this has given us a better sense as to the lessons learned from these different symposia, and the manuscript's also working on developing some suggestions moving forwards for if you'd want to do your own symposia as a chapter. And so I'm really excited that this is coming into progress. And so I just wanted to keep you all attuned to keep your eyes out for that when it comes out later this year or early next. And finally, I keep forgetting, I have one more slide. We're hoping to finally do like an in-person meetup. Hasn't happened since the 2020 at ASLO this year, the Association for Limnology and Oceanography at Mallorca in June 2023. And Kaylee Krieg, one of our steering committee members, will be there and is helping us to lead the effort in doing a meetup or town hall of some kind. But if you're going and interested in having a bit more of a leadership planning role in this, please reach out to her because she could definitely use some more hands. But I'm really excited that we're finally going to be able to do an in-person event for SWIMS, which is awesome. All right, so with that, I did want to take a few minutes to answer any questions. I know there have been some in the chat that our wonderful steering committee has been working to answer, but if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to raise your hand and we can address those during this time. Giving it the 5-second teaching pause. All right, Chrissy, we have a question. Please go ahead and unmute and say hello.
Hi, thanks. I just wanted to check in with you about demographics on the membership stuff. I can't remember if I can go in and update anything about my demographics. Like as I move through different job positions, am I able to change that stuff in Memberful? And does that then like, you know, because the Memberful connects to the Airtable in the back end.
Yeah.
Basically, just like curious if I should be going in or if we should prompt people to kind of like update any of that stuff.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know. I haven't done that myself before. So I would have to double check, but that's a great point and I can look into it and then we could update the membership via our incoming newsletter, our next newsletter.
Yeah. And if there's anything I can help with in terms of like the infrastructure, let me know. I'm happy to help.
Okay. Thanks so much, Chrissy. Chrissy was our former president for anyone that didn't know. So she has an inside view as to how this all works. I see one question in the chat. Is there a chapter for North Carolina State University? Kaylee, you can confirm this for me, but I don't believe so. I actually don't know if we have a chapter in North Carolina now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
All right, well, Kaylee can get back to you on that, Andrea. Are there any other questions anyone want to, Alex, go ahead.
Hello, I'm brand new, so I'm a little bit
Welcome.
hello, it's so wonderful to meet and see some of you. Oh, hi. I was curious, just as a newer member, if you could just go over the mission statement of this group and what kind of events that you found to be that we've hosted that are like the most successful ones. That what kind of ideas do you look for?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'd say the general mission statement for SWIMS, I mean, we do have one on our website you're welcome to read, but it's really to amplify the voices of women in marine science and provide a network for them to come together and celebrate both the science and the challenges and the lived experiences of women in marine science. And we are focusing on having a more inclusive approach to that mission and recognizing the diverse, gender identities and racial and ethnic identities that can encompass and intersect with gender. And so embracing and amplifying all of those identities as well. And so, as I mentioned, one of the main ways that SWIMS has functioned in the past is to do these large scale symposium, which have been at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution at the University of Rhode Island and at University of Maryland, Horn Point. We also did one virtually in 2020, which worked quite well as a way to kind of get a broader range of people from around the country to participate, which was great. Since the pandemic, we haven't done a large symposia. I mean, I would love to see another one happen. I think at this point, it's really up to some of the chapters getting together and wanting to host something like that again. For example, when I was at VIMS as a graduate student, we got together with the UDEL chapter and the Horn Point chapter to do a group Mid-Atlantic swim symposia, for example. But I think as we continue to grow as a membership and then with chapters, it could be a great way moving forward. But something at the national organization that we've been focusing more on is just trying to find ways to deliver content to our membership, granted, recognizing that we're all from across the country and the world, and that more people are moving online for different activities. And so, at least from the national standpoint, we've been focusing on doing webinars. So we did one in September on how to apply to government jobs, and then we did one in December on work-life balance in marine science. And for both of those, we really tried to show a large breadth in different career types and career stages and different identities among women in marine science. And then, as Chloe mentioned, this past year, well, in February, we did a science storytelling workshop with Karen Romano Young. So we're just aiming to provide different communities or different opportunities for women to come together, but then also to grow their careers professionally. And so it looks like Chloe has something. Maybe do you want to add to my perspective, Chloe?
Yeah, no, I was just going to add, Alex, I know you kind of alluded to that you were looking for the kinds of ideas that we look for. So I just wanted to mention that the jobs directory was a result of a breakout room discussion at the annual members meeting 2 years ago. So yeah, just for examples of things that have come about because of discussions and ideas that members have brought to us. So on top of webinar ideas, as Trisha mentioned, we've had some really good success with those. Kind of any idea is fair game.
Just creating those resources. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. We're so glad that you've joined us, Alex. Thanks.
Yeah, I
thanks
kind
for
of
tuning
fit
in.
right in that demographic that you're talking about. I'm, graduate student, that 30% early career. So looking to meet all the people and make connections. I'm newer to the field, so I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome. Well, and hopefully we can spend a little time now doing some breakouts, and then that can give you a chance to get to know a few more of the members within SWIMS.
Thank you.
Are there any other outstanding questions before we do our breakouts? All right. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing and stop recording, and I'm going to leave it to Trish and Ray to take over the breakouts for the last 15 minutes. And thank you all for attending and joining today.